Hi everyone, I'm Dave from SaveDecks, and recently I have been working on that extensive back catalogue of mine. And I think I've done pretty well in this last week, as I have beaten Metroid Samus Returns, Letter Quest Remastered, Yono and the Celestial Elephants, a game that I beat in one sitting I might add, and finally, the game that I'd like to talk about today, Shantae Half Genie Hero. Anyone who's seen my Switch collection video will know I own the Day 1 edition, and they'll also know that I'd completely forgotten that it came with an art book and the soundtrack CD. That is how little attention I paid to this game. I had played it very briefly when I first got it, and it seemed like a decent action platformer, one that I'd get round to eventually. But now the time finally came for me to get round to it, and as it sits in my mind now, it's one of my favourite games on the Switch. I just want to share my thoughts with you today. This isn't a proper review or anything like that, it's just I had an amazing time with this game and I just really want to talk about it. The problem I personally face with some modern platformers, as amazing as I find the likes of Rayman Legends and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, is that if I only play through them once, and the backlog doesn't always allow for more than one playthrough for me, then I end up forgetting most of the levels. I remember everything about the old Mario and Sonic games from my childhood, simply because I played through them so many times, but that never happens for me now. And I kind of thought this game would be like that. I thought, yeah, I'll have a fun time, but I probably wouldn't remember a whole lot of it. The good news is, I don't think I'll be forgetting the levels in this game, because there are only 6 of them. That may sound like it's a very short game, but it isn't just a case of running through each level, beat it, done. There is a whole adventure in here. Not the longest, admittedly. I beat it in 6 hours with about a 95% completion rate, but I had a lot of fun with it, and that sort of time is ideal for me with such a big backlog to get through. In the main hub world, you have 5 main buildings to visit. Your uncle's workshop, the item shop, the bathhouse, the gallery, and Sky's hatchery, where you can fly to the level select screen. It follows the formula of your uncle needing a plot device, you go find it, bring it to him, he then needs another, you go find it, rinse and repeat. Shantae's main gimmick is the ability to transform into different animals. I won't show off too many as to not spoil much, but the first 3 you'll get are a monkey, which can jump high and climb walls, a crab, which can go underwater, and an elephant, which can destroy large rocks. After you first beat a level, you unlock a new ability. You can then revisit older levels, with the new abilities, to access previously inaccessible areas. I don't want to spoil much in this video, so I'm only showing these first 3 animals, but there are 8 transformations in total that are required to beat the game, and there are a few extra ones too that aren't essential but can come in useful. One tiny detail I would like to highlight though, as it really is a testament to how good the game design is that when you're a crab underwater, you float down slowly as you'd expect, but pressing down makes you drop to the bottom quickly. This is such a minuscule thing, but the fact they added this in shows how much care and attention was put into respecting your time in this game. There is a Metroidvania feel to these levels, as every time I found a new ability, I would just have to go back to previous areas and search around for something that can now be manipulated or reached. This can result in finding handy things like extra heart containers, but it could also result in finding a crucial item or move needed to progress through the game. This style of world design meant that I got to know each level very well, and it's got to a point where I would get a new move and instantly know where I can use it. The Nelephant can now stomp downwards on cracked parts of the ground? I remember exactly whereabouts such things exist from my many wanderings of the past. Now it may seem like it can be a bit tedious to be continuously playing through the same levels over and over, randomly searching for things that may or may not be crucial, but the game offers a few handy ways to help you out. For a start, the bathhouse I mentioned earlier. This has a very helpful person that gives you tips, free of charge. These tips point you in the right direction without spelling it out to you too much. And one thing I really liked was on the level select screen, when you highlight a level, it tells you how many items there are still to find on that level, which was very useful. I got obsessed with finding everything in this game, even if I didn't need to. There are some items like sunken souls and gallery keys to find throughout the adventure. They aren't necessary for beating the game, but it's useful if you do, especially if you want the good ending. When it got to the point before the final level where I was given the task of finding all these optional collectibles and bringing them together into these final fetch quests that you did or didn't have to do, but if you wanted the good ending, you did them. And it was not a problem for me because I already had them all just through playing the game and just exploring every nook and cranny. The gallery keys are used to unlock the doors in the gallery where you can view concept art, which is a nice bonus, but if you find all 10, then the guy in there gives you a reward. I won't say what it is, but I felt it was definitely worth it. The item shop is where you buy items. Yeah, who'd have thought that, eh? You can buy and upgrade magic spells, which I found myself buying just for the sake of completion, but I only really used them on boss fights. The bosses themselves I found to be fun characters, and they were all different enough to be memorable. They had unique ways of beating them, although at some points later on I found myself being able to brute force my way through them, as I was never short on items to refill my health. Talking of characters though, I really enjoyed the cast in this. Having not played much of the previous Shantae games, I didn't know them that well, but I loved them. There was a lot of funny dialogue, such as this kid pondering something quite disturbing about the transformations. He does have a point. And each character stood out with their own personality. My favourite one though has to be this bearded guy, who seems to spend all his time standing in a void between worlds, allowing you to save the game. They never explain who he is or what he's doing there. Maybe he's in all the Shantae games, I do not know, but he is a legend nonetheless. The presentation is phenomenal too. I'm sure you've been taking in the amazing art style, and the soundtrack is a lot of fun to listen to. Good job I have a CD. I honestly cannot believe how much I loved this game. I've kept mentioning Shantae as a potential character for Smash Brothers without even knowing how good a moveset she could have. It was mainly because I knew she had a legacy. But after playing this, I can really see her have a strong moveset with the magic powers and transformations, making her unique. Definitely want her in Fighters Pass 2 now. So that was my experience with Shantae Half Genie Hero. 6 hours of pure fun. It gave me those feelings I got from Wonder Boy 3 back in the day. Maybe it's because of the animal transformations. But it's not over for me because there are plenty of extra modes in this. There's a hero mode where you have all your transformations unlocked from the start, a hardcore mode, a couple of adventures where you play as some side characters including Risky Boots, a mode where you have ninja abilities, officer mode which is based on Mighty Switch Force, beach mode where you have beach balls at your disposal but you need to collect sunscreen so you don't burn, and best of all, jammies mode, where you're going around to invite people to a slumber party and you get to throw sheep as weapons and fly on a cloud. So if 6 hours doesn't sound all that long for the main campaign, then all those extra modes really bulk out the experience, and I have a long way to go until I've seen everything. And to think that this cost me only about 20 quid. This was an absolute steal. So that's what I thought of Shantae Half Genie Hero. At first I thought it looked interesting, but I sadly overlooked it for about a year. I had no idea it would grab me as much as it has, and I absolutely loved it when I got round to playing it. I just had to make this video to share my thoughts here, and I cannot wait to go back into the series past and look up what the other games are like. I think I have Pirate Curse on the Wii U's eShop, so I better check that out. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. If you liked it, make sure you give it a like down there, and let me know in the comments down below if you've played this game before, what you think of it. If you haven't played it, have I just convinced you to check it out? And if you want to keep up to date with our future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the party. Thank you again for watching, everyone. Bye bye.